Should you stay at the Walt Disney World Swan Resort? On this episode of Stay Tours, I'll share, I think this is our 8th stay at either the Swan, Swan Reserve, or Dolphin. Let's explore why we keep coming back to these resorts. First, I'll show a room tour and some of our Walt Disney World trip highlights, and then I'll share my pros and cons list of staying at the Swan. And spoiler alert, the Swan specifically is my favorite place to stay when visiting Disney World. On this visit to the Swan, we had room 869 right around the corner from the elevators, which was super convenient. Upon entering the room, and in typical Swan fashion, you have this bathroom situation, which is stellar. We are a family of 3, parents and a young adult son, and having this split bathroom and 2 sinks is a creature comfort we've come to expect. I love having this magnifying mirror, lots of counter space, and a very decent hairdryer. The shower area provides another well-lit space with another vanity and even more countertop space. And in this particular room, we had a tub shower combo. 2 heads on the shower head, a handheld, very convenient, and also those Weston signature bath products. The whole lobby smells like this stuff. Also in the bathroom area, a spacious closet to hang all the things. There are plenty of hangers, extra bedding, a comfy robe, ironing board, iron, and a luggage rack. Updated, spacious, bright, clean, everything you'd want a bathroom area to be. Moving on to the bedroom area, our room had 2 queen beds. We had a late flight in, so when we arrived, as you can see, it was already dark out. This particular room was considered to have a resort view. Luxury vinyl plank flooring everywhere, freshly painted walls, simple, modern furniture, an area rug, lots of lamps, and a TV that was easily compatible with YouTube, so we could watch our other favorite Disney YouTubers as we prepared for the days ahead. Lots of places to plug things in and charge them. There were complimentary water bottles already on the nightstand, which was great. There's a coffee maker with some regular and decaf and all the fixins and some tea bags. And there's even a little desk if you needed to do some work or just needed a place to sit at a table. There was also an accent chair in the corner, which we basically just threw stuff on, and an actual normal fridge. Not one of those annoying cold box things that turns itself off. Plenty of storage under the beds. Really nice to throw your carry-on under there so you have more room. Neat as a pin. Everything you need. What could you possibly complain about here? Our resort view was overlooking the Swan lobby entrance and drop-off area. We walked to a window at the end of the hall and we could see the Walt Disney World Boardwalk Resort. Since we had a late flight and we flew in from Texas, we were a little rammy from sitting, so we took a literal midnight stroll around the various paths at the resort to find a little courtyard, lots of nooks and crannies, and a really beautiful view directly across the water to see the Boardwalk Resort. And the path to get over to Hollywood Studios is over there too. We walked down the boardwalk and stopped at the Screen Door General Store to get some snacks, and it was so great because the clerk said, "Would you like a mint chocolate chip Mickey sandwich on the mouse?" So we got pixie dusted as soon as we got there. It was a great feeling. Eventually, we crashed and went to bed. Generally, I'm the one who wakes up early to rope drop by myself, which is a huge reason why we like staying so walkable to our favorite park, EPCOT. Basically, when we tell people we're going to Disney World, what we really mean is we're going to EPCOT and any other park we visit is gravy. So to get this vacation started, I got up early and took the stroll into the back entrance of EPCOT, the International Gateway. And you could see that morning the crowd to get in for early park entry was non-existent. I entered EPCOT half an hour before the official park opening because staying at a deluxe resort gives you the perk of early park access. And while I did stop briefly to smell the flowers because the Flower and Garden Festival was still happening, my goal and purpose for getting up early like this was to jump into the standby line for Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind. The queue started near Mission Space and wrapped around the courtyard near the attraction, so I got to hang out over here with Buzz Lightyear for a while. And I don't know about you, but I just love the rush of a rope drop morning. This was the first time I'd ridden Guardians of the Galaxy since they got rid of the virtual queue, so even with the crowds, I was pleasantly surprised to see the posted wait time was 50 minutes. And I think it took a little bit less than that. after a thrilling ride on Cosmic Rewind, they played conga this time, I strolled over to the World Showcase to Norway to catch Frozen Ever After. Even though we'd reached normal park opening hours, the wait here was still not bad, another 45 minutes or so. Afterwards, I took respite at the Morocco Pavilion in the annual Passholder Lounge to get some free snacks, and my fellow family members had taken the walk from the Swan to meet me over there and snag a Maleficent Passholder magnet at Creation Shop 2. During this May 2025 trip, EPCOT had these perks for an event they call VI Pass Holders. We had a Via Napoli reservation in Italy ready to go, but first some inspiration from the Voices of Liberty over at the American Pavilion. If you have never gone to see Voices of Liberty, this is an absolute must-do when you are at EPCOT. Go more than once. They sing different songs. They're amazing. After our early lunch at Via Napoli, our standing order is prosciutto e melone and margarita on the other half. Our sweet tooth led us back to the EPCOT Flower and Garden Festival booths, where we got a s'mores cake bar and some peach cobbler to share. There's nothing quite like a stroll through EPCOT during a festival with a yummy dessert in hand. We stopped in the Land Pavilion to catch some AC and take a relaxing ride on Living with the Land. I don't know about you, but this attraction never gets old. In the heat of the day, we took a stroll back to the Swan to take a break and refresh. We love being able to just walk back to the room on a whim and head back to the park refreshed. We came back to EPCOT for the Garden Rocks concert. The Outlaws were playing the night we were there. We stayed for luminous fireworks and had a relaxing stroll back to the Swan using the International Gateway exit to end the day. It's really the best way to get you back to your room at night. The next morning, we had a brunch reservation at the Whispering Canyon Cafe, so we caught a bus over to the Wilderness Lodge. If you've never been to Whispering Canyon, not only is the meal a lot of silly fun, it's also a great value. There are all-you-care-to-enjoy skillets, 3 different ones, and for our family of 3, one of each offering suits us well. I always get the lighter side skillet. These are very delicious. It's an endless skillet of food, as many Mickey waffles as you want, a breakfast dream come true. If you want more of anything, you just ask for more. And for roughly $23 with a pass holder discount, you can't beat it. After our brunch, we were thoroughly stuffed and jumped on a resort boat to Magic Kingdom, where we caught the tail end of Festival of Fantasy Parade. Perfect timing. After a visit to the Country Bears, a peek at the weather app told us we'd better get out of there because a storm was brewing, as it often does during Florida summer afternoons. As soon as we got back to our room, the skies opened up, and we had a spectacular view of a thunderstorm and lightning bolts hitting very near to the Tower of Terror. We took the opportunity to relax and enjoy the storm. And once the storms passed, we grabbed some ponchos and water bottles, compliments of the Swan lobby staff, and headed right back to EPCOT to hit up some festival booths for snacks. Remained eerie and dark all evening, but fortunately for us, the rest of the night was storm-free. After a few more snacks, we had extended evening hours at EPCOT, a deluxe resort perk. Thank you, Swan. Got to ride Guardians together as a family and turn in for the night to get ready for our next day, where we hit up Animal Kingdom first thing. We were still pretty stuffed from all our food the previous night, so we just shared a breakfast at Satuli Canteen. Then we waited in line for Flight of Passage. It was about an hour wait when we went, which, if you know this ride, that's not too bad. Next, we took the train to Rafiki's Planet Watch and joined the animation experience where we learned to draw Minnie Mouse. Heather, our artist, was so kind, she autographed her mini drawing and gave it to me. Look closely at this photo. On our way out to catch a reservation at Animal Kingdom Lodge, we spotted Divine. Off to Sanaa, where the bread service is the reason you go and everything else is a bonus. Pro tip, I always order the kiddie size version of butter chicken because the adult size is just too much food for me. Later on that day, we went back to EPCOT. You might recognize the desserts we had because there were some repeaters. It was another night of rain, which caused us to turn in early. It really was a washout that day. Next morning again, I left the boys behind at the Swan and rope dropped Hollywood by myself straight to the Tower of Terror with TJ as our host. Next, I went to the very first showing of the new Little Mermaid show, which debuted that morning, May 27th, 2025. I was in the first crowd to see this new stage show. Everyone had a lot of anticipation as we walked into the theater. It was beautiful. The way that technology, human characters, puppetry, and stage sets were all integrated was very impressive. It was a lot of fun. The show was about 20 minutes, and I thought they did a great job telling the key points of the story in just the right amount of time. After watching the show, I was a little hungry. I met my now awake family at Ronto Roasters and got these amazing overnight oats. Tasty and super filling, it's really the best kept breakfast secret at Hollywood Studios. And there was yet another show debuting that day, the new Villan show Unfairly Ever After. And where there are new shows, there are other vloggers. The technology that was used combined with the boisterous characters was a lot of fun. To head over to the Polynesian for yet another dining reservation. Yes, meals at Disney are a key part of our trips here. This time it's Ohana, which actually translates to stuffed silly. We literally had the best chicken of our lives at this meal. Our compliments to the chef. He really did an amazing job preparing all the meats for us today, and the bread pudding, of course, as always, was stellar. After all that food, we traditionally take the walk from the Poly, past the Grand Floridian, and over to Magic Kingdom's front gates. It's quite the hike, but if you've had a meal at Ohana, you know walking afterwards is just not a bad idea at all. We got to the Grand Flow, the sky opened up again, so we peeked inside to see the renovations happening for a future lobby bar of all things. We had rain for quite a while, so we set up shop here as we digested our massive Ohana meal. A gentleman was playing a Steinway, taking requests in the lobby, and once the rain let up, we continued our journey to the front gate of the Magic Kingdom. Waited in line just long enough to ride the Haunted Mansion, and when we walked back out, the skies had opened up again. It took us a while to hop from covered structure to structure and eventually get to the bus, but we did, again, just call it a night because it was stormy for the rest of the day. Next morning, the convenience of Swan's location cannot be overstated. I rope dropped EPCOT and Road Guardians by myself yet again, twice in a row. It literally never gets old. And I got to meet Star-Lord. other members of my party were walking over to EPCOT, so we met in Mexico, snagged an avocado margarita at La Cava, watched a glass blower, and were fortunate enough to catch a stellar performance by Mariachi Cobre, who has been performing since this park opened in the 80s. Keep our trend of amazing live entertainment going, we stopped in to see Voices of Liberty yet again, then walked to the Yacht Club to catch a bus to Disney Springs for Gideon's cookies and some merch at World of Disney. After dropping our goodies off at the Swan, we went back to EPCOT for a snack, then rode the Skyliner over to Hollywood Studios. While I had seen the Little Mermaid show by myself, all of us were able to watch it together this time. Then alas, it was time to pick up our luggage over at the Swan and catch a flight back to Texas. So why is the Swan my favorite? Well, here's a list of pros and cons of staying at the Swan. First pro, the location. From the Swan on foot, it's about a 12-minute walk, whether you go around the Boardwalk side or the Yacht Club side to get over to EPCOT's International Gateway, which is the premier peaceful entrance to EPCOT. Likewise, you're about a 12-minute walk from the gates of Hollywood Studios, so you can't beat the location. Additionally, it's great for our family who, 2 of the 3 of us like to sleep in, and one of us, namely me, likes to rope drop everything. So we all get to do what we want to do. And if you needed to drop something off during the day and go back to the room or just take a break, it's really easy to do. You can walk back or take a friendship boat back. You just can't beat the location. Pro number 2 for me, the value you get for the money you spend. Now, we used an annual pass holder discount, but you can see our rate for the 5 nights we stayed per night before taxes and fees got added in. And I will say, we used the same annual pass holder promo code when we booked at Christmas time. Look at that price. And that time we got an amazing gift, which was a free upgrade to an executive suite. So you really cannot beat the value for staying here, considering the location. Additionally, you can use points when you stay here. It's a Westin, a Marriott, so you can see we stayed for 3 nights and only had to pay $135 out of pocket. Another pro, the double sinks. Anytime I stay at a hotel that doesn't have this setup, I just realize how ultimately convenient it is to have a split bathroom set up with multiple sinks. This is one of our favorite things about the Swan. Truly, you get it. Lastly, deluxe resort perks. Though you were not paying a Disney Deluxe Resort price to stay at the Swan on most dates anyway, you get the 30-minute early theme park entry at all 4 theme parks when you stay at the Swan, and additionally extended evening theme park hours on select nights, just like all the Disney Deluxe Resorts. And now for some cons. One thing that irritates me every time I stay at the Swan when I get my bill is to see this $50 per day resort fee and tax. How do I cope? Well, there are complimentary water bottles galore here. Do we get our $45 worth through our water bottles and free ponchos on rainy days? Probably not. But don't be afraid to use the Swan and Dolphin app and make requests for things like water bottles. Second con, the Swan when compared to Disney resorts lacks theming. You know, you've got this fleshy copper and green situation outside, 90s vibes. There's really not a cohesive theme, though it looks very nice and it really does smell Westin wonderful in here. If you're looking for that ultimate Disney bubble experience from the parks to where you stay, this is not that experience. We don't mind, but if you have young children, they shouldn't expect to see a character meet and greet in here. Another con, the transportation offered by Swan. Though they do have their own buses, if you take this bus to, say, Magic Kingdom, they will drop you off at the Transportation and Ticket Center rather than at the front gates like Disney Transportation does. A quick fix for this is just to walk from the Swan and jump on a yacht, beach, or boardwalk Disney bus instead. So that's really an easy fix if you don't prefer to use the Swan transportation. Another con of staying at the Swan, okay, this is a little tongue-in-cheek. If you know the bath products at the Swan, They smell wonderful. They're great. They're fine. But what they are not is these. They are not the Disney products. So that is one luxury you give up when you stay at the Swan. And that's all I got. There really aren't many cons to staying at the Swan, which is why we stay here so much. We've also stayed at the Dolphin, so check out this video of our trip immediately after Hurricane Milton. Yacht Club is another EPCOT Disney deluxe resort. Love staying there. To soften the blow on the wallet a little, we have stayed at the Yacht and Dolphin as a split stay and used some points and discounts to help out with the expense. We have stayed at the Swan Reserve too. It's definitely newer, but does not have the space or the charm of the original Swan to us. And lastly, my favorite video to recommend to you is to go watch our Walt Disney World Swan Executive Suite upgrade video. This happened to us the week of Christmas, and it's a trip we will never forget. So ends another stay tour. I hope you enjoyed our experiences staying at the Walt Disney World Swan Resort, some of the reasons why it's our favorite, and that you were able to come along and see some of the highlights from our trip. Remember to like this video and subscribe so you can see even more of our stays. Hint, we're Epic Universe and eventually Disney Treasure bound, so stay tuned this summer. I guess I gotta go home now.